Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 23 live feed spoilers. We have for you guys the aftermath of the Power of Veto ceremony. I know this will really shock you guys, but there's some emotion that is coming out of it.
Yeah, well, Big Brother's an emotional game. We've seen people be emotional and use that to their advantage in this game.
Yeah.
It has also blown up their games.
We will talk a little bit about that, about where the state of things lie, but also some interesting planning for the future where I think a lot of people are really starting to think a lot about these BB Bucks. Maybe these BB Bucks are really getting in people's heads. Like, Azah has this idea that is so far out of left field. It could be brilliant. It could be a complete waste of everybody's time.
And the thing is, too, it's all about what powers do you end up getting. Some of them have been really good. Some of them have been really overpowered. And some of them have been really crap.
Yeah, it's really
they just
true.
haven't done anything.
So, like, all of this is going to be very, very interesting these next couple weeks, how people prepare for all of this. But you know what? If you guys want to prepare to get more Big Brother 23 coverage, hit that subscribe button over there. We will appreciate it. Coco Vanderwolf very, very much appreciates it as well.
She appreciates it. We all appreciate it. Thank you very much for everyone who has subscribed to our channel.
You know what else Coco Vanderwolf would appreciate?
Yeah.
Liking our Instagram at Matt and Jess TV, because there are photos. There is a very adorable photo of Coco over there that has to be in like the top 5 greatest Instagram photos of Coco.
Yeah, she decided to not only sleep in her dog bed, but take the couch cushions and also sleep on those. It is very adorable. You just too adorable.
Why are you taking over the whole living room, Coco?
She can have anything she wants. She's an angel on earth.
All right, well.
And we tell her every day.
Angel on earth. All right, well, right now in the house, there's not so much of this joy. They need a Coco Vanderwolf. They can't have ours. They need somebody to make them feel, especially Brittany, who is just by far upset.
Yeah. Okay, so what ended up happening with the vetoes is Kylan used his veto. He saved Claire. He put Brittany on the block. Alyssa did not use her veto. So now we have Brittany and Derek F on the block. And the thing is I think Brittany kind of understands at this point that she is the target.
She has to. She has to in her heart of hearts. I don't care if she's in denial. I don't care if she's... I don't care about anything.
She has to know.
I just feel like you've been on the block. She's very keen on telling us how many times she's been on the block. Like, eventually, you're going on the block. You have to go at a certain point in time. And Brittany's, obviously she's upset because she's on the block again, and I get that. But her real sense of anger at the moment is that she and Kylan discussed a deal. But it's a deal that Kylan never actually, at least on the feeds as far as we saw, he never was like, deal, I will shake your hand, we will write this in blood, but she still feels enormously betrayed and hurt by him.
Yeah, she's, said she's betrayed, she's crying, she's proclaiming that Kylan's a liar, and it's just very difficult in this game because Kylan, of course, doesn't want to straight out say, no, I'm not taking your deal.
Yeah.
But silence doesn't mean agreement either. Not in this game and not in life. So, she's got to kind of understand that. A yes means a yes. A no means a no. Yeah. A silence means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. I
think this is where things are just tough because, I think Brittany seems like a pretty fun person at times. She's had some good moments on the show. I don't know if Brittany is made out to be Big Brother material. And what I mean by that is I just think that she cares deeply about a lot of people. I think these elements of betrayal and heartache and deception, I think this stuff is just not stuff that she's necessarily cut out for. And that's not a bad thing. It's a great thing in life to not want to lie and deceit and be terrible to other people.
Yeah, and this game is tough for that because this is a game that is built on lies and deceit and betraying people. But you still have to have enough balance so that when you go back to your regular life, people don't think that that's who you are and that you're going to do these things. We've seen Big Brother outside of the game follow people around for the rest of their lives. It's a very difficult balance in this game, but you can't Brittany, you cannot go into this game and expect that people are not going to lie to you. You just can't. And Kylan didn't even lie. Kylan just really kind of said nothing. That is not the same.
No, it's not. This is the thing I'm actually the most worried about. And this doesn't even have to do anything with the game itself this season. But, you've got Derek F. and Azah who are consoling Brittany, knowing full well that Brittany is going to be evicted this week, but not having the complete, straight up, honest conversation with her about everything. But I worry that she is going to be so hurt because she's so close to the Jokers, to know that the Jokers have basically withheld information about the cookout, about what's going on, like this entire game, and just going along with basically this bit. Like, it's going to really hurt her, I think.
Yes, especially from Azah, because they have been very close. Azah has been protecting her this whole time. She's been putting herself out there for her this whole time. Yeah. And it feels like it's sort of, what have you done for me lately? That Brittany will not necessarily see all the things that Azah did all the way up to this point. It'll be just the thing that she feels betrayed about, and all this other stuff that is built up into the relationship will mean nothing.
And you can see that it's starting to get to people. Like, Derek, it's clear that this bothers Derek F to a certain extent. Like, he did his whole ranting and raving to Xavier about it, and sort of talking about how frustrating it is that people kind of have to stay in the dark this way, and there's just, why can't people be straight up honest? And it's like, okay, Derek, I get what you're saying, but if everybody was just like every week in Big Brother, oh, you're on the block, you're going home on Thursday, there would be no TV show, there would be no blind sides, there would be nothing exciting that happens.
No, but I understand that you can still do that. You can still tell her. I think he feels like he can't because, he's part of the cookout and they're protecting him. He's not able to say anything. But Derek F still says things even if he can't say anything. It is only Tuesday, guys. Is it possible that somebody from the Jokers is going to tell Brittany the truth? Yeah, I think so, because I think that it will eat away at Azah. It is eating away at Derek F, and they want to have some sort of relationship with her outside the game. They are friends.
That is I think the number one chance for chaos this week is Azah or Derek F eventually feel so bad for Brittany that they end up telling her about the cookout before she leaves. Brittany tells other people about the cookout, and the cookout just blows up entirely.
I don't know if they'll tell her about the cookout, but I feel like they may tell her she just doesn't have the votes. And that's sort of where it could get more interesting, because that's where people do either they give up or they do get more emotional and start sort of pushing forward on emotion. Like I said, we've seen emotion blow up in people's faces.
Yeah.
Then over on Big Brother Canada, we watched Kiefer use emotion to completely turn things around for himself in like the most glorious way.
Yeah, like it can really be an asset to you in the game depending on how you play it. You can't make people think you're manipulating them, but if they feel bad for you, then they'll want to keep you. So there's some intrigue with that moving forward. But speaking of intrigue, Azah, this is Azah's idea here. Yeah. It's fascinating. Yeah. It may be useless, but it's fascinating. Yep. Okay. So here's what I was getting a little worried that people are starting to figure out the cookout, which is going to be inevitable. There's, fewer and fewer people in the game. So she's starting to think a little bit about what if a cookout member wins HOH coming up and they nominate two people within the cookout, Kylan and another person. And there's a couple of pieces of logic here. We know that one of the next BB Bucks game thingies that's going to be going on here is like this renom roulette that could determine who's going to be up on the block. So if there's already a couple of cookout people on the block, they can't be the renom. If a cookout person's the HOH, they can't be so it seems like she's trying to sort of find a way to play the odds so that if this power ends up happening, there are fewer people within the cookout that could be the renom, and I guess then, depending on the timing and all of that, there could still also be the veto that could change everything out further. It's like this. It's an interesting idea, but you could also just nominate, I guess, a couple of people who aren't in the cookout from the get-go and save yourself all of the trouble.
Or they could just get rid of Derek F this week. Because if they actually they've nominated one person from the cookout, if he goes home, then maybe it can sort of start to shift what people are thinking this week. And I know that it's a really big risk because the numbers are in the favor of the Cookout. If you lose a number, you're taking a bit of a risk. But because they all know that Azah is so close to Brittany, just let Derek F go. Bring in Brittany, then start to get rid of everybody else on the other side of the house, and then get rid of Brittany.
Yeah, like there's logic to this idea. If your goal is to try to mask the Cookout, which I understand why you would want to do, so long as people like Derek X and Claire are in the game, you got to try to figure out some way in which to do it other than just being like, okay, eventually we need to just beat them in comps.
Nominating somebody from the Cookout is not enough. It's not enough. Someone from the Cookout has to go to really prove that there is no alliance happening there. Like, it's just not enough. Because if you put up 2 people from the Cookout and then you take one down and put someone from the other side of the house and they go home, you've just proven that the Cookout actually really exists. So I think that it would be in the best interest of the Cookout to get rid of Derek F., fold in Brittany for a short period of time, and then move forward with it. And, it's risky. I know that not everyone's going to agree with me because I suggested something similar to this yesterday, and not all of you agreed with me. And that's okay. It's Big Brother. We would all play it differently.
I think it's a very interesting idea, and I think it could work. And the other thing is, it couldn't be any insult to Derek F, because I have some bad news for you, Derek F. You're not winning Big Brother. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. You might as well just go now, go hang out in jury, just do whatever you do, which for the most part just seems to be kind of lounging around. You do plenty of that in the house just as it is. So just go over there. That's more than fine, because this is how your own alliance sees you now, Derek. Hannah and Xavier basically just want to super pawn you. Like, you're going to be the new Brittany now if Brittany ends up being evicted, and you're just going to go the block all the time, and no one really even treats you like a viable threat to win at all.
No, you're being used by your own alliance. It's just... It's tough. And that alliance, I understand why they want to keep it a secret, but if they do just sort of get rid of Brittany, they have the numbers to just roll over the rest of the game. They might as well just, they don't have to tell people, but I don't think they need to be as secretive as they needed to be like 3 or 4 weeks ago when they just didn't have the numbers.
Yeah, I think so long as they, are in a good spot, they can win competitions. Like, sooner or later, people are inevitably going to figure it out, and they just have to know that. Just try to insulate themselves as best they can. But the last thing we'll talk about here in terms of people thinking strategically is Hannah is also thinking a lot about these BB bucks and thinking about this idea of, okay, well, what if Alyssa ends up getting some BB bucks to go after one of these later twists down the road? So she's already kind of actively thinking that maybe she could be another target coming up. Like, I still feel like everybody wants out Sarah Beth, and that she's just mostly been saved by the fact that Kyland is the HOH right now.
Yeah.
The thing that I've kind of felt like Alyssa had a little bit of a chance at, and this is why I said last week that I think Christian going was probably good for Alyssa, is that without the showmans, how is Alyssa a threat to really anybody? I mean, I guess she did win the veto, so she can win some competitions here and there.
Win.
But, like, I could see her skating by for a while. I could see her being one of the last, like, non-Cookout people standing, and it's probably a good idea for Hannah to be thinking about her with that in mind.
Yeah, Alyssa gotta go.
Yeah, she's got to go, and I just think she's somebody who can just slip under the radar in a way that Derek X is such a big threat. Nobody's going to forget about Derek X.
No, they are not. And Sarah Beth is already on people's radar, except for Kylan, of course.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll tie everything up here, but of course, we want to know from you guys, what do you think about Azah's idea here? Do you think it could work? Are they better off just getting rid of Derek F right now if they really want to hide this alliance? Give us your thoughts, your theories on all of this in the comments, and thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. We'll see you next time.